I got the transfer switch and then the inverter. Now, I kind of pre-wired some of these. These go to the battery, right? I kind of pre-wired some of this stuff in the house because it's a lot warmer. And I didn't record some of it, but I'll explain more of it in detail afterwards, okay? So this is the inverter, our Energy 1000 watt inverter, and the transfer switch, and I'll explain what that does later as well. But for now, let's just get these mounted. There. Okay. All right, so I think I figured it out. I'm gonna put the inverter here, because then I can mount this here and then run the red back to the battery. Should be fine. Still have my shut off. And then the black cable can go to the negative, so that'll be fine. And then the automatic transfer switch can go up here. And then there's a short connection from the switch to this. And then another cord to the power there to power the switch. All right, let me just put a screw in here real quick. One right here. Now. Okay, one. Now, grab another screw. Make sure this is semi-straight. Oops. Semi-straight. Like I said, if I was doing this in my house or something, guys, I'd be leveling all this stuff and that, but I'm not that anal of a person to worry about it too much. As long as it's fairly straight and things are done, you know, safely, I mean, as well. But I'm not really worried about how perfectly straight everything is. Some people are, and that's cool. That's good for them, but I'm not that person. Now, if I was doing this in my house, yes, I'd be a little more worried about straightness and stuff, but as far as I can tell, this is straight enough. Looks fine. Doesn't look totally wonky or anything, so I'm good to go with that. If you're looking for like super picky stuff on this channel, in terms of that, you're not going to find it. Actually, that's still good though. You're not going to find that. I'm just typically not that way. Not for this like chicken coop kind of things anyway. Another thing I want to mention before I forget to totally do it is that there's all this extra space because pretty much I'll be using just this section here because I have another battery coming as well, so I can have two 12-volt batteries. Is on this side, if I don't expand the solar system, which I may do one day if I need to, we can put some shelves in there and that, and have a few things like medicines and stuff for the chickens in there, or special things like mealworms and that can sit in there or something. Anyway, we'll see. But I can use that for other stuff. Oh, by the way, I've also noticed that the temperature in here has went up. I got to minus 30 or something the other night, or 35 actually. Something crazy for 2 days. Really strange. Anyway, and then back to like 2 degrees, minus 2 degrees. So really strange weather. Anyway, one thing I noticed since we put this up, because it's so big, that it was about 3 or 4 degrees warmer in here than normal for that temperature. So that's pretty impressive. I guess because it takes off some space in here in terms of room, and then also adds like multiple layers of insulation basically. So pretty cool. Anyway, so let's get on with the build here. As you can see, I've installed the inverter now. Now I'm just going to install the switch and the power on and off switch for the battery, and then for the inverter, I should say, to the battery, and then do the automatic transfer switch install. So let's get on with that. So now that I got this inverter all hooked up, now I'm going to provide power to this. Now, providing power to this, it's just DC power. It's just to power the device itself. It's not to power any of this stuff, okay? Okay, so what I have to do before I plug this device into the load here is I have to turn off the load, because I can't turn off the battery just yet because it's getting solar power in. which again, remember, you always have to have your battery first plugged in before you put solar into here. And then I don't have my little breaker because it hasn't come yet, which I'm going to install later, which could have turned off the solar, and then I could have just switched this off and then have no load power or anything, right? So anyway, let's just shut off the load power now. It's probably not the best option. You probably are smarter to unplug everything, but I really just don't have the time. And once all the power goes off in the other devices, you know the power's off. So, all right, don't over tighten these again. Probably said it 15 times in the video, but don't over tighten the connectors on this thing, especially. Okay, so load's back. Let's turn the load back on. This then should power on. So I turn the load back on here, so let's hopefully that happens. 17 is the setting. So Sly just did his alarm, and they all took off running big time, and there's some gunfire going on, so we didn't think much of it until a big shadow came over the coop. A big shadow just came over the coop, and I was like, oh, there's a bird. There's a big shadow. And guess what it is? I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. And we saw him here the other day. There's a great horned owl up in the tree. Great gray owl, sorry. I don't know if you can see him. I'll zoom in on the thing, but he's right up there. Right there. He was warning them. I think I'm pointing at him. He was here the other day too. So he's checking out the coop. This is exactly why we've done this. He will kill a chicken and no problem. And that's why he's here. So anyway, either way, awesome. He's coming back quite a bit lately, so he's definitely looking for stuff. Now, is he looking for a chicken right now? I don't think so, but who knows?
I don't know, he flew right over.
Yeah, he is sitting there. He's not looking at us, so he's looking.
Can you get closer?
I don't want to scare him away, Jamie. I don't care if he's here. He can't get the chickens, so.
He's huge. They get up to like 24 inches, 2 feet tall.
Yeah, up to 2 feet tall, yeah. That was like the one we saw. He might be the same bird that we saw down there when we first moved here. We didn't get video of him, but it might be the same one. He might live around here. Haven't seen him all summer, though. Oh, I thought he was hunting there for a sec. Yeah, he's warning. See, here, Sly.
Oh, Jamie, they're all going in again.
Yeah, oh, they all went in. Look, most of them went in again because it was a half crow. Anyway, he's down there now. We can't see him. I can't even see him, I don't think. So if he comes back over, we'll take more video. That was awesome. This place is amazing. Every day, almost every day, there's something cool that happens like that. Just love it. Okay. Alright, so do that. I want to put this, I want that like this, I guess. Like that, maybe. Yeah, put it right up there. So this should help me with that. Oh yeah, okay. Alright, let's just try this. Now, hopefully it's straight. Put that there. And I should have the right line up for the hooks. I don't know how shallow to make that. Okay. Alright. Hopefully this works. Saw it on a video, one of the YouTube videos. I can't remember who. So I'm flicking through stuff. And that was a good trick just to line that kind of stuff up with. Alright, let's try that. I don't know if that's... Then all you do is just pull them off. Doesn't look straight to me, but we will see. And let's see if I can get this on right. There you go. Oh, there you go. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to put this clip on. I over-tightened the last one, so I kind of broke it. So I'm just not going to over-tighten this one, but I do want it in there. If I have to buy another clip for these, I will, but let's let's move that down slightly. All right, straight. All right. Okay, that's good. Yeah, it just helps it stay straight because it was really wobbly before. All right, another thing I wanted to show you guys too. I had these because I have some 3D printers and all that stuff. I bought these, and I'm not sponsored or anything. I'm not even recommending them per se because I've never actually tested them to see if they work. I just know that there's some good reviews and stuff on them, so who knows, right? But these things, these little fireballs. So I got the mount there. So you just mount it on the wall and you put the ball in it. So I'm going to mount it somewhere where it could be possibly something catch on fire. So what happens is if it catches on fire, the ball will ignite because it's got like a fuse and blow up fire retardant everywhere. I think it's something I'm going to put in here. I may actually stick it like right here near the batteries. I don't even know if it would put out a battery fire though. I don't even know if you can. I think it's very hard. Even firefighters have a hard time putting out lithium battery fires and stuff. So anyway, I also may put it like right here on the door. So when the door closes, it kind of goes right to there. And then if something weird happens in here, it'll go, right? That's my plan. Between that and the rock and all that in here, I don't really think, I don't think anything's going to catch on fire. So, or at least permanently. I'm hoping, knock on wood. Okay, so I got the fireball in. I think I'm just going to put it right there. I think that's a good spot. Screwed it into the wall. This way it's kind of central to the whole system here. So if anything weird happens, it can go off and hopefully put out any significant fires. Now it's not going to go off for a little spark or anything like that. Well, it shouldn't unless it lands perfect in the perfect spot. But I think it's going to be a good option to have in here. I have 2 or 3 more, but I kind of want to keep them for my 3D printer room. But I also might put 1 or 2 down in the corners down there, just in case there's anything happens with the lights, spark, and then some fire comes. It may hurt the chickens, but you know, it'll stop them from all dying, right? So put them in the corners as long as the birds don't chew them. Anything that starts in here can be put out with them, so should be able to. So anyway, I might put the rest in here. I might order some more. These ones are getting, I think they're 3 years old now, so I think they said they last 5-8 years, something like that. So anyway, worth a shot. Okay, let's get on with this now. As you can see, it's providing power from land power to this outlet, which is charging and lighting everything, right? Now, because the battery's low. But if I change this, which I don't want to change it for long, but you'll get a point. How do I do that again? Oh yeah, let's see. For low discharge, I got it there. So I'm going to actually bring that down normal anyway. But let's say I wanted the low charge rate to be 12.2, right? Before it switches to land power. So now see that? Now it's automatically switched over to DC because the low charge rate of this battery, I said in the settings that it should be 12.2 or higher before to use the battery. So if that drops to 12.1, it'll go back to using shore power. So I hope that makes sense. That's the benefit of this, is that you can never run out of power if you got both land power and solar going. So that's the advantage, and that's how I'm going to try to save some money, is by doing the switch back and forth thing. That way the chickens are never out of power, but I'm also not always paying the bill. So until I get something that permanently can run in here with solar and not have that issue, I'll keep that in here. I may just keep it in here forever anyway, right? Why not? Something weird happens, something shorts out in your controller, and the battery doesn't charge. This thing will automatically go to shore power, and you're fine. So I think that's a very good thing to have. And it's not cheap. I think it was like $80, and I think in the US it's even cheaper. It's like $40 or something. So yeah, it's worth every penny as far as I'm concerned. Let me just show you some of the settings on here real quick. I don't know if I can see them. I'll try to angle it so you can see them. As you can see, it says 12.2 volts right now. If it drops any lower than that, it'll go back to shore power, right? There's no any load off of this thing right now, I don't think, anyway, because I don't even have the inverter plugged in, or turned on, I should say. Anyway, okay, so I have it at 12.2. I'll probably put that at 12.4 or something in the end, just after the demonstration here. So you can set the low voltage to 12.2 or whatever voltage you want for the battery to switch away from the battery to land power here. And then you can go, what you can do is set here. This is high voltage, so what you want the high voltage to be when it switches back to battery. Okay, so you have to really think about that and test your system, because maybe you'll get a low of 12 or 13.5 all the time, except for really sunny days where it charges the battery fully or something. You may want to keep that lower. Like, I'm going to actually lower it to, let's say 13.2. Now, let's say 13, because the purpose of this is not to use the land power as much, right? The purpose is to use your batteries as much as possible. Okay, so that's basically it. It's all there is to it. This automatically selects between 12, 24, and 48 volts, so you can use any of those things with this and automatically detect that. So that's the gist of it. Like I said, output goes to here, which goes to your power bar. Inverter, obviously, goes to the inverter. And then public power, I got connected to public power. So pretty basic. And it automatically switches back and forth. And I think that's pretty awesome. What are you guys clucking at? Oh, it's you. What are you clucking at, big guy? Is there an enemy around that I don't see? So what I've done here, because I don't have a cable that'll reach from negative to the far negative post, is I just bolted these together with two negatives on each end, so I know, it's less chance of me messing up in the future. But I'm going to measure this distance, and then I'll order a new cable that's a solid cable for that. I just don't have one on hand. So I want to make sure I do that later. But anyway, I just wanted to make sure I could get this going today. It's not ideal, but it'll do. And then I'm going to throw some tape around it as well. Okay, so I'm back. I taped up the ends, or the middle connections, so it wouldn't possibly hit anything and cause issues. So I think I'm going to connect this one first. Okay, so that's it. So I don't know if there's a good way to test this right now, but it should be hooked up fine, and that just pretty much doubled this to 200 amp hours. This heater's still on, so I think I'm actually just going to unplug this heater today, because there's no need for it to be drawing power all the time and wasting it. I'll look at what the temperature's supposed to be at night, though, the next little while. So I got my solar breaker here, power breaker, so I can turn it on and off, and then it'll also blow too if it gets too much, which is good. It gets too much power going through it, which it probably never will, but who knows. So it'll blow as well. So anyway, I can isolate then the power coming in from outside to this, and then I can turn off batteries and do anything I want in here and reconnect everything. So I got some extra cord, solar wire cord, from the package I got when I bought this. So what I'm gonna do is just cut it down, strip it, put it into the proper ports on the terminal here, and then disconnect that, turn this off, put it in there, put them in there, positive, negative, and then rewire this up, and then flip the breaker back on, and we should be good to go. In theory. Okay, so I finished it. Power positive from outside, from the panels in, negative in there, and I'll do something with these cables after. And then positive and negative out, and then into positive and negative of the MPPT charge controller. As you can see, it says nighttime. It most certainly is not nighttime. And anyway, so let's see if I did this right and don't blow up anything. Okay, power on. And sun came on. Okay, it doesn't say it's charging yet, so let's give it a minute here. Because it takes a minute sometimes, I think, to do whatever it does. And there it goes. And there we go, it's charging again. So I did it right. So that's awesome. Okay, so I actually wasn't going to do some of this stuff, but some of it actually came in the mail today. So I'm going to actually attach some of the things I got. One will be the heater controller thing. So I have an external temperature thing that'll cut the temperature or cut the power off to the heater at different the temperatures I set instead of whatever it thinks. Because I don't think the temperature sensor is working in there. Which it should be, so that's kind of concerning in a way, but it's only a 12 volt thing, so not overly concerned about it. But anyway, I got that, and then I'm also installing a shunt, which will tell me what draw my system is using and what power I'm using. So let's get on with that. I'm glad they arrived though, because especially the heater thing, I really want to control that because that sucks a lot of juice out of the battery 24 hours a day when it doesn't shut off. Okay, so this is the device here. Does 12 volt, so you just hook it up to the battery, and then I'll have to take the cover off here, but there's contacts in there, so you just run power in obviously from the battery. I may do that from the load on the terminal probably, not sure. Anyway, so to power in, where's the oh here we go, there's a diagram right there for us, and there's the diagram if you guys can see that at all. Okay, so that's how I'm going to hook it up. You can also run fans and stuff, so when it's too warm, it'll start cooling in here, so you can like use it for fans or whatever you want. Or open, like technically, I guess this can probably run something like the linear actuator there, and when it's cold or hot, it can close, or hot, you can open a window or something like a door, and when it's cold, it could close the window or door. So that's pretty cool. And then the sensor which comes with it, it's a little, obviously a thermostat sensor, so you can put that anywhere you want. It's a really long cable they included for you, so you can mount it or wire it anywhere. And then obviously power in from the battery or a load. So anyway, I'll hook that up. I'm not going to show you guys each step of that because it's pretty basic, but I'm just going to basically take out the wires for the heater down here and then wire them into this, hook this up, and I'll show you that when it's done. Okay, so I got it hooked up. I had it actually, I was testing it, and it won't turn this on because I guess the thermometer is working in here. It just works randomly. I don't know. I guess the temperature is not cool enough or something. I don't know. Anyway, so what I've done is I've just set it. It says cool right now because I'm not messing with the cooling settings, because what happens is it's too warm now, so it'll switch it to cool. I can make it so it doesn't switch to cool, but I'm not really concerned about if it does. I'll do that later anyway. So what I've done is set it to -5 to come on in here. I might change that to like -2 or something. I'll have to adjust it and see. The battery apparently can hold or get discharge up to -10 and also charge, so I think we're okay with -5, and then it'll heat up to +1 in the box, and I can adjust that to maybe -1 or something anyway, or 0 later on, but I'll fine-tune that as I go along. So anyway, it looks like it's working because I tested the power once a heat switch comes on. I tested the power and there's power going out through it. This isn't doing anything, so at that point, because the internal thermostat of this isn't kicking on yet, which is weird because like I said, I was having issues with that. But it is a little bit warmer today, so I'm assuming that's why. Anyway, so let's get on with the other stuff I'm going to do. I'll do this real quick here and I'll come right back again. Alright guys, well, I think I'm finished here. Finally. Providing everything works as planned. I just went over that a minute ago, so you saw me install this. And then I put the shunt in, which tells you what you're using It won't tell me what I'm using through the load, but this tracks that, so I can figure that out by logging into the Bluetooth thing on there, and that'll tell me how much the load's drawing. And then, but this will, the shunt here, which I installed and taped up because it has to hang over. I'll put that over there for a minute. Has to hang over the wires here, or the positive contacts, and this is a negative, right? So big no-no. So I taped it really well, and it shouldn't move anyway toward the contacts. There's not much room there, or leeway there, but I taped the whole bar up just in case. And then that goes into the inverter, and anything that is drawn power-wise and out through everything else will be measured now. Now this one doesn't have like a long-term display on it, like for like every day or anything like that, but I can basically watch what's going on. So then I can kind of calculate for myself what is happening in terms of usage, which is nice. So that's a little bit of a advantage. You know, you can spend more money and get ones that log everything or have Bluetooth on them, but I just want to keep this basic, because honestly, once I get this system working well enough that I don't really have to watch it that much, I'll check on it once in a while, but I'm not going to really care about how much power it's drawing, because I don't need to. At that point, that's the purpose of all this work, is to make this as least work as possible in the end. Alright, sorry guys. My battery on my GoPro died, and I'm out by the Coop, and I don't want to run back to the house to get it, so I'm just going to use my phone. But I missed some of the build. But anyway, basically it's the box. Now it's made of wood, so it kind of counterproductive to this fire wall thing. But if I'm really worried about it, I can go and get some more rock stuff to put on top. But like I said, I got the fireball thing, and the back wall's all done and stuff, so I think we should be okay with the fire issue here. You know, if it's going to go up, it could go up. And if the batteries go up, like I said, none of the fire rock stuff, unless it's like inches thick or something, would ever stop that. And even that, I don't think would. They flame up pretty good. Anyway, so just cut a hole in the top. Ignore the wiring. Like I said, the wiring is a mess, but that's because I'm still messing with things. I got another one of these to add in for the other heater, because I did put the other heater on. I forgot to tell you, I put the other heater on the other battery, and so both have heaters now. And then what I've also done, which is a big difference, because I was running into a lot of different issues with this in terms of power. Running these electric warmers, 12-volt warmers, are quite power consuming. So they drained the battery completely. Then my door wouldn't open, electric door wouldn't open. That would shut off, that would shut off, a bunch of stuff. I mean, the nice thing with that, though, is when that shuts off, it actually defaults to land power. So you're never out of power. But anyway, this thing would set alarms that could be going off and all that stuff. Anyway, so what I've done, if the battery goes completely dead for some reason, this will still alarm, but this is no big deal because everything else will stay functioning. What I've done is got a AC to DC converter. So all these things that require power, like here, the door, these little devices, DC power, they all rely on DC power. So this thing plugs into AC. I lose a bit of power by doing this from the batteries. When it's running off of batteries, efficiency goes down a little bit, because it has to convert from DC to AC and then AC to DC again. But because I have this up here, I never run out of power now. So everything is always running, including the heaters on the batteries, because I froze the batteries and I couldn't run them for 2 days until I got this other thing here, because you can't run lithium batteries past -10 or something like that. So, and you can't charge past 0 degrees. So these will keep them nice and toasty warm in there all the time. And they'll never run out of power, because even if the batteries run out of power, because that thing runs off of land power as well. Now, I'm going to monitor how much power I'm using for all this, because, see if it's worth it. But right now, it's running off of battery. So, and it has been for hours. And today, I was getting 27, 28 amps of power through the solar. So, and I was only using 152 watts, and it was bringing 300 something watts, and so it was bringing more than I was using, and that's on a really cold day. So that's awesome. We just need some more sunny days and stuff to keep it going. But so the system is starting to work very nicely. I had everything's backed up so it can't turn off, and that was the biggest problem I was having, is things turning off, even the voltage reader, right? Like that's what it's using right now. And so yeah. Anyway, I'm happy with it, and easy build. I can just remove the lid anytime I want and be done. I'm just hoping that coops up some of the heat in there to keep the heaters off as much, so they're not on as often. Anyway, thought I'd update you on that. Please leave your comments below what you think I did right, wrong. If you enjoyed learning about it, if you learned something. I'm not an electrician. I don't really know this stuff, but I've researched enough to hopefully know more about it to have done it correctly. So hopefully that works. And yeah, anyway, leave your comments below and let me know what you think. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm not sure if there'll be trail cams after this video or not. I'm having a hard time getting out there getting them. Next video, I'm not sure what that'll be either. So, but I have a ton of videos in the works, so make sure you tune back in. And like I said, like, subscribe, comment, and share. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.